So we are in a Saturday's meditation session, and we are studying the beautiful text where the teenager is the master and the king is the seeker. And he has three questions: how the knowledge is attained, how the freedom is attained, and how the dispassion is attained. So when we say dispassion, it has more to do with becoming a seeker. And so seeker, and when the knowledge of the real self is attained, then the freedom comes. So understand, this freedom is freedom from the mind, freedom from the I, not freedom for the I. So if there is a freedom for the I, we enter into passion and craving and pleasure, and ultimately the pleasure leads to pain and the suffering. So that is what we have understood in the second verse. What is the second verse? It says, Muktimichhasi chetta. Do you want liberation? So the master speaks that, do you want freedom from the suffering? So it means you already have a dispassion, and in that state of dispassion, you can instantly be liberated. How you can be liberated from the clay pot? By knowing that it is made up of clay. How simple. How can I be liberated from the waves? I need not to do anything. I should know that it is all water. How I can be liberated from the blueness of the sky? Knowledge and awareness in the mind that the sky is not blue. Where I'm pointing you out? That the moment your mind says, I'm suffering, the suffering belongs to the body, to the mind, to the intellect, not to the pure consciousness that we are. See the beauty of the teaching. So what the master says in the third verse that we covered before, he says, Na prathvim na jaram, I am a witness consciousness. I am simply aware. Who am I? I am consciousness. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the body-mind complex. Look at it. Can I become aware of that moment where there is only the seer, knower, and in that state I live in the pure consciousness, and that is what is freedom. So then we studied Yadi, the most beautiful verse. I always like to contemplate whenever I remember this text. So what it says, if I separate, if you separate yourself from the body, it is already separate. If you separate clay pot from the clay, it is already separate. Clay pot is an appearance. Clay pot is an appearance. It does not exist. It is a matter of convenience. Same way, if I separate myself from the body, body is an instrument. Body is not me. So when I live into that awareness, what happens? Yadi deham prathakratyaha. If you separate yourself from the body, separate means not physically. If we separate physically, then we have to go to cremation ground. So we are not talking of that physical separation. Can I become aware the way I separate the waves from the water, the clay pot from the clay, the blueness from the sky? What happens? The mind naturally rests within. Then what happens? There is instant peace and happiness. And that state is nothing but a meditative state. That is the meditative state. So now then we have the fifth one. It is very important to go through because it gives you a reference. So last week what we covered, it's a very small book. Notam vipradiko varno nashrami nakshgocharaha. So the master says, when you realize that it is not a pot, it is only a clay. Means what? That mind which has withdrawn inside has no object of name in the form. And that mind reflects deeper within. It finds only the pure consciousness. Is the consciousness has some form? It is formless. So what is he says? Asangosi nirakaro. He says that consciousness is naturally unattached, formless, and witness of all. Now today's verse is Dharma dharmo sukham dukkham manasani nata vibho. And used to ask me, is there a God? I said, no, there is no God. We don't talk about the God. We don't talk about the religion. We don't talk about the dogma. We don't talk about the belief. We don't talk about. So this is what is explained in this. What does your master teach? Asked a friend to a disciple. So disciple said nothing. He teaches nothing. Then why he gives the discourses? You see the contradiction. Then why he gives the discourses? Disciple said he points the way. He doesn't teach anything. 3,000 masters for the last 6,000 years have not been teaching. They have only been pointing the way. Where is the way? You lost the way, and so you ask someone, "Oh, where is this house located?" So that guy points you. Go to the right, then turn left, 2 miles, and on the right side you will find that. So does that stranger become your teacher? He is only pointing the way. In a map you say, here is USA. So the guy who points the way has become a teacher. So the master drops that idea. So no. So disciple says to his friend, that is why he has to talk a lot, talk. Why he has to talk a lot? Because the mind is already heavily conditioned, culturally, socially. To remove that conditioning, the teacher has to talk. But only to point the way, not to teach anything. So if the master starts teaching, our conditioned mind will create a belief. The continuity of belief leads to dogma, cult, religion. Every dogma, belief, and the cult is the death of the teaching of the Eastern wisdom. So the master says, this master says in the text, listen to me carefully. Unbiased. Don't get attached. I'm pointing you the way. Just see it, know it, and become aware, you are in the state of meditation. You need not to do anything. That is the beauty of this teaching. Look at this. This is the beauty of this teaching. This master says freedom is here and now, or it can never be. No, I'm suffering. What should I do? How should I do? What is the method? What is the practice? So this teenager master says there is no practice at all. Why? Are you talking of freedom in the future? Then only we have to do the practice. You are already free. You have to know that you are free. You know that you are in bondage, and you should know that you are in freedom. This is, if I say, is the teaching. So in this verse, what he says, how I become the enjoyer and the doer. And as long as I am the enjoyer and the doer, I am in bondage. I will experience pain, problems, suffering. So he is pointing to a seeker who is a king, who has done the practices, who has become a qualified seeker. So for all those qualified seekers, he says, you are not an enjoyer. You are not a doer. You are pure witness. And you are pure consciousness. And that pure consciousness is peace and happiness, love and wisdom. So if we go by this verse, so this verse says, Dharma dharmo sukham dukkham manasani nate vibho nakartasi na bhuktasi mukta aivasi sarvada. Understand this verse. Literal meanings: virtue and vice, pleasure and pain are of the mind, not of you. They belong to the mind. No, but it is my mind. So it is your car. Car is not you. Mind is not you. So whatever is happening in the mind is not you. This is what the master is saying. Look at this. Then he says, you have, because of ignorance, you are creating a doer and the enjoyer in you. You are neither doer nor enjoyer. You are ever free. As long as we are the doer and the enjoyer, we are bound. Let us examine. If the car runs on four wheels, by steering, engine, fuel, does it become the doer and the enjoyer? No, it does not. Car is an instrument. It does not have consciousness to claim to be the doer and the enjoyer. How you are listening? From a virtual lesson online, from the Google Meet. So is the Google Meet is the doer or the enjoyer? It is simply an instrument. Same way, examine. When I am not the body, the breath, mind, intellect, how can I claim that I am the doer? I am speaking. Think of it. Just become aware. Lips are moving. Larynx and the throat are working. Eyes are looking at you. So am I the speaker? For a matter of convenience, to play my role, we can say that I am the teacher and the speaker, you are the listener. But in reality, the body, mind, intellect and ego together has become the speaker. That is what we say when we drive the car. The instruments cannot become the seer, doer and the enjoyer. So question comes where the I thought comes. We started our journey that freedom from I is liberation. The moment I become free from this I-ness, you experience immense peace and happiness. That is what happens in deep sleep. I'm not the body. I'm not the mind in deep sleep. When I wake up and I say I had sound sleep, can I live consciously without any identification with this I-ness that is created in the mind that claims I am the doer, I am the enjoyer? It means I should stop doing everything. You see that? That's a wrong approach. That's a wrong approach. I should continue to play my role as a doer and the enjoyer. I should continue to play my role as a doer. What is your role today, here and now, when you are listening? Are you 100% listener? If you are playing your role. Focus on the listening. Finished. How long it will take? Another 30, 40 more minutes. Finished. So whenever I engage in any activity, I focus on the very act. I should not focus on that I am the doer, I am the enjoyer. What will happen? We remain free 24/7. The Master says you need not to do the practice. You need to simply become aware that I am not the body-mind complex. So the Master says, na kartasi. Kartasi means you are not the doer. Na bhoktasi, you are not the enjoyer. When you live into that awareness, Master says you are always free. You are free here and now. You are always free. You are always free. You live into that state. Again, take those examples. Clay pot and the clay. If I see the clay pot from any side, what do I find? I only find clay. You look inside, you look on the right side, you look at the bottom, you look at the handle, it is only clay. Where is the cup? Similarly, this is a clay pot, the body. And the ultimate result is we are the consciousness, pure consciousness. So that leads to what? Na kartasi, na bhoktasi, mukt aivasi sarvada. That is a beautiful phrase. Mukt, freedom, aivasi, you are always free. You have taken for granted that you suffer. It is the mind is suffering. You have taken for granted that you die, but your body dies. You never die. You claim that you commit sins. So who commits sins? Who is a doer? When you are not a doer, how can you commit the sin? You are an enjoyer. No, the body and the mind is the enjoyer. Can I live into that awareness all the time? When I live into that awareness all the time, I live in meditation 24/7. That is the teaching of this great master. Look at the other side. It does not mean that it means, I should not be doing anything. Why not? Life is action, and the action is life. As long as we live, we cannot get out of the action. So what we are doing, we strip the idea of being a doer and the enjoyer in every action. Idea, it is an idea that I am doing it. So remove that idea from your mind. So when you are before your honey, play the role of a honey. When you are before your dad, play the role of a son. Role of a son. Role of a mother. Role of an employer. Role means you perform your role, and while performing the role you are free. After performing the role you are free. See that? You perform the role, you are free, and that is the journey of this beautiful text. So you have to take away that every day you have to think, I am doing it. Ask yourself, am I really doing it? Am I the doer? And what will happen? The smile will come on your face. I'm not the doer. This body-mind complex is performing all the action. Does the car claim that the car is the doer? Help you to reach to a particular destination? No. So the body, mind, intellect and ego helps you to reach and to join the session today. After the session, you'll be busy in doing anything. You take the word lightly. You take being a doer and the enjoyer lightly. Just take it lightly. And when you take that lightly, what happens? Whatever the result comes, you accept it, you constantly improve, you live into the freedom, and that leads to immutable peace and happiness. So let us start our journey. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. And you will see that still we are doing the practice, but I always say, in Saturday's session, this practice is nothing but a non-practice. Because I have to express it. So that is why I say it is a practice. But in fact, you maintain awareness as I speak, and that becomes your meditation. Eyes are closed, looking at the body. You are looking at the body. The body is, you are aware of the body. You find the steadiness in the body. The moment you look at the body, you feel the sensation. You are steady of the body. And the mind is looking inside. Looking is not doing anything, my friends. At present, your eyes are closed, the mind is aware, and I say just keep looking inside the head or the heart. What happens? You are aware of the space or emptiness or darkness. Well, in that darkness and the space, become aware of a point. I'm simply saying become aware of a point in the space. Very good. That point in the space, you will discover there is a spark of calmness is already there. The more the mind leaves the passion, being the doer and the enjoyer, that spark you will find is growing. It is not growing. The mind has left being the doer and the enjoyer. that mind becomes the transparent, and you experience the freedom and the immense peace and happiness. That is what the teaching in this verse. So being comfortable, looking at the neck joint, being there. Did I say to do anything? No. Being there. Feel and experience sensation, being comfortable and steadied. Mind goes to the shoulder joints. Be there. Feel the sensation. And being comfortable and steadiness. The mind goes to the entire body. Again, say, pay attention. If I say the mind goes to the entire clay pot, now compare this. The teacher in the Eastern Wisdom only points the way, never teaches anything. So clay pot, body. Mind is looking, the entire clay pot means the body. And experience the sensation, being comfortable in steadiness. So at a little deeper stage. So you left the idea of the identification with the body, and then being carefree, you leave the identification with the thoughts and ideas. So let any thought come into your mind. Let the thought come. Let it go. Let it stay. What it means? It means the birds are flying. Where? In the sky. Thoughts are flying. Where? In the mental space. You are aware of the mental space along with the thought that enters into your mind. You are aware of the waves along with water. So what is going to happen? The mind will see it is all water. Why should I run after the wave? We are not doing any practice and still doing the practice. That is why I picked up this text. It is such a beautiful text which says the freedom, the peace and happiness is here and now. And in that state, look at the head and the neck. You are aware of the head and the neck. You are looking at the head and the neck. And you experience sensation, relaxation and stillness. You did anything? No. Go back again to the same clay pot. When I look, see, with awareness, I find only the clay, the pot in appearance. Now apply the same. Look at the right arm. I have to point to anything with the name and the form. And with the name and the form, I go deeper. Looking at the right arm, being there, feeling sensation, relaxation and stillness. Mind goes to the left arm. Being there, clay pot. You see that? Name and the form. So you are looking behind the name and the form and you experience sensation, relaxation and stillness. Tell me, does any sensation or relaxation or stillness has name on the form? They are formless. So now the mind is entering into that state where it can point out who the real I is, which is formless. You see that? That is how it is working. Chest and the belly. Looking at the rib cage and the belly and the spine at the back. Just move the mind all around. The middle portion of the body. You are simply aware. I am not saying to do anything with the rib cage, belly and the spine. Simply look. Feel. What do you feel? Sensation, relaxation and stillness. It is there. Does the stillness is the name and the form? So this is how I design these practices to help your mind to enter into the state what this master is pointing. He is pointing, remember, he is not teaching. So the way I am also pointing. Why should I teach? I don't know. Move the mind on the right leg. The mind goes to the right leg. Here you feel. What do you feel? Sensation, relaxation, stillness. You see that? You get away with the name and the form. Again, same example. Clay pot. Clay. Clay is the real. Clay pot is apparent. Left leg. You are there. Feel. Sensation. Relaxation and stillness. How simple it is. How beautiful it is. And if you say it is a practice, how powerful it is. The entire body from the top of the head to the toes. You are looking at the body, clay. Again, you see, just play and fun. Meditation should be play and a fun with the mind to help the mind to realize the reality behind. So now we have a clay pot as a body, and you experience sensation, relaxation and stillness. How simple it is. We are not doing anything. Remember. And now with the same clay pot and the clay, we will go with that example to perceive what, how. Look at the breath going in and out. Example, look at the wave rising and falling. Look at the breath going in and coming out, no change. You do nothing because you are looking at the wave from a distance. You are looking at the breath from a distance. Clear. Waves rise and fall. Now, if I say, look behind the breath. If I say, look behind the wave, what do we find? Water. What is behind the moving breath? The space, the formless space. Just be there. Nobody's breath is moving. See that's how I like to translate each and every verse into so-called a practice which is a non-practice. What are you doing? Nothing. Because if you are doing something, then you are the doer. The master says, you are not the doer and the enjoyer. There is awareness. In that awareness, there is a breath going in and out. And in that awareness, there is a space behind the breath, the way, the water behind the waves. You're not the doer. You are not the enjoyer. That is the beauty of what a beautiful state you all are in. So, seer in the scene. I see the computer monitor. The computer monitor cannot see me. With that idea in the mind, in the field of awareness, we will follow the next step. Become aware of the world around you in the room, the items, the feeling, the objects. Those objects cannot see you, but you can see them, you can feel them, you are aware of them. So you are the seer of the world outside. That seer is the mind, because the mind is constantly changing. So we have to reach to a point where nothing changes. What will happen? We have already found it. We'll go slowly. So now look at the physical body. The physical mind is the seer. The physical mind says body is alive. Is it true? The body is composed of matter, carbs, fat, protein, minerals. Do you see the carb is alive? Protein is alive? Amino acid is alive? No. It is made alive by some other agent. So until this point, the physical mind is the seer that claims wrongly that this body is alive, body is made up of matter. My mind claims wrongly this is clay pot. In fact, it is not. It appears. See that. Now we'll go a little deeper. Look at the breath. The breath going in and out. So the breath is subtle as compared to the body and the objects in the world outside. Are you doing any practice? No. You are simply becoming aware. Master always points you the way. He does nothing. So you are looking at the breath. It is the subtle mind. Subtle mind is aware of the breath going in and out, feeling the sensation, and there is no change. We want to see and check and discover. Can the mind be in the state of dispassion? It does not refer any object of the world outside to know who am I, who you are. I say I'm Ann and Sam and I tell my name. What you do, that is another introduction about me. But my job is not I am. My gender is not I am. My color is not I am. That is what we are discovering. So now deeper than the breath, what is there? Deeper than the breath is thoughts, feelings, sensation. Become aware. It is the subtler mind who is aware of the thoughts, feelings, sensation. What should I do? Do nothing. I simply know what are the contents of the mind at this moment. It is the subtler mind. Not many people become aware of these thoughts which is going on in their mind, and they claim that whatever they think, they are. So when the thought is I am stressed, then I am stress. I am in pleasure, I am in pleasure. You see the doer and the enjoyer? Thought makes you doer and the enjoyer. So you are careful. You are simply watching. You are aware of it. What will happen if you are aware? No doer, no enjoyer. No doer and no enjoyer. That is the way. Well, then what is deeper than the thoughts, feeling, sensation? The mind has limit. Mind cannot transcend and see what is behind the thoughts, feelings, sensation. What it means? The mind lost all the objects. Then I see the objectlessness. Do I really see the objectlessness? If I see it, I'm already there. How can I be the doer and the enjoyer in the state of objectlessness of the mind? I normally say as if you have gone too far from the world outside, from the body, from the breath, from all the thoughts and feeling and sensation. And there you meet horizon. And you go beyond the horizon. Patanjali says this is an objectless state of the mind, is mindfulness or meditation. We didn't fight with the thoughts. We didn't control the mind. We didn't control the body. Just a pure awareness. So if I say the objectless state, the mind is still there, but then mind is looking at the mind without any object. Mind is looking at the mind without any object. Can you ever be the doer and the enjoyer? You go beyond the thinking and the thoughts, because thoughts are at the subtler level. We are at the subtlest level. I'm just pointing the way. It is something. You look into the sky. You see the clouds, you see the birds, but you see the sky, pervading, all pervading, my friend. You see, that awareness is all pervading. Doesn't matter. You are aware of the body, of the breath, of the thoughts, of the world. But at the same time, you are aware of all pervading clay in the clay pot. How can you be the doer? How can I be the enjoyer? Can I live into that state all the time? This is what many say it's a choiceless awareness. Let us deliberately put some object and see if that state disappears. You are already deeper inside into the objectless space. Simply drop Om Shanti mentally. And see, when you drop Om Shanti, does that objectless state disappears? No, it is there. Can the sky disappear when the bird is flying? Or if the cloud, it can, clouds can cover the sky but cannot make the sky disappear. Just do it again and check. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Amen. So when you say Om Shanti, it leads you to the, where it leads you? To the space, to the infinitude. It is something like when you say, here is my body, and you see the pure consciousness. Here is Om Shanti. And the mind instantly becomes aware of the pure awareness and the consciousness behind. It is such a beauty. Live in the state as you are. Remain as you are. See what happens. The mind drops all the wrong notions. These wrong notions are the clouds. For some time, these clouds can overcast the sky, make the sky disappear, but it never disappears. It is always existing, same way. That pure consciousness is always existing. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind to the right hand, your mind to the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside, know your experiences, and bring the hands down. We have two things to go, sharing and questions. How are you, Samir?
Sir, it was really no body actions, no breathing. It was just pure going into peace and drawing within means. Taking everything.
Beautiful.
It was really beautiful, sir.
Beautiful. Beautiful. If you are happy, your honey is happy. Remember this. Don't expect that she should make you happy.
Yes, sir.
And how are you, Anne?
Yeah, I feel very grounded.
Grounded, yeah.
And in the hand.
That, beautiful. Yes, we are progressing and evolving. How are you, Terry?
Well, I'm okay. I have a thought that if you're the clay pot, like if the body is the clay pot, and somebody come and threw it, or pick it up and just throw it, and it breaks into a million pieces, it's the same. If you're not that, then that is not alive, and that's the same matter as it is in this form or in that form, so it's no difference.
You have gone a step deeper. I appreciate it. Then what happens? There is no birth and there is no death.
So I used that to not be angry that I was being thrown around.
That is really good. You should be doing this. You live into that awareness. Anger has no place. Anxiety has no place in this journey. The moment we have identification, we give value, then we are angry and agitated. But, there is a big but. That I should show anger to get the things done, if it is required.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a great story after everyone shares their experiences about the snake and the monk. How are you, Stephen?
So very, very good. A very peaceful meditation that was completely centered. I knew that I was sitting in my heart center.
Good.
The entire meditation. I never left there. It was just a dark, quiet, peaceful space.
Yeah.
From start to finish.
Beautiful.
So the only addition to that was when you started chanting the Om Shanti. I felt this energy of waves surrounding that center part of my heart, and as if you could just see the waves coming out of my heart.
Beautiful.
Which was very, very nice.
It's a deeper. It should happen every time. And then obviously you have reached to a higher level. How are you, Sam?
I'm good. The body checks were interesting today because I finally feel that I can get to every part, my fingers without moving them, my elbows, my shoulders, to the point where I was working on this area and I started getting really itchy because I was like, oh my God, I didn't notice you're noticing different areas, you end up getting itchy, you end up feeling a tingling, so that was really good, and other than that kept me away from having other thoughts.
So it is the itching comes because of the mind. The mind becomes aware of the clay pot. So, and then it says, mind says you are the clay pot, and then you experience the itching. So when the mind lives deeper, and it happens by regular practice, you reach to a point, everything goes by, you live into that, but you did better. You did good. So how are you, Vivek?
It was deep. I could feel the heat waves inside me, and I could also see one kind of light which merged with me, and after that I was lost. It was total blackness, and after that was only I was following your instructions.
Beautiful. That too is good. That spark of the light has to do with a greater and a higher awareness. Continue the journey, it will happen. How are you, Shobha? Shobha is gone. How are you, Ashok?
Shall I join late?
Thank you. You joined late. I don't. Your voice is not coming clearly.
Now it is clear?
Yeah.
I came late to the office.
Oh, yeah. Good. How are you, Vaibhav?
So it was